Welcome to the Insurance Agency Success Podcast, the only podcast that helps insurance agencies grow their business while increasing their happiness and joy. I'm Eddie Price, founder of Jenesis Software and an agency owner for more than 30 years. I have started, bought, sold, and scaled agencies, and for the last 25 years, helped others do the same through Jenesis. On this show, you're going to hear real stories and proven strategies to help you streamline your operations, increase profits, and really enjoy the business that you've built. And if you'd like to learn more about what we do here at Jenesis Software, just visit genesissoftware.com, click on the orange button to request a demo. All right, I want you to watch this episode. I just had an interview with someone that you guys are going to really enjoy watching this podcast. Tobiaz is going to tell us how in 13 years he started from zero, a scratch agency, and he built a $10 million agency. We're going to share some great stories throughout this podcast. And then at the end, Tobiaz is going to tell us the 3 things that he recommends that you do if your agency is smaller or new and you want to get to $10 million. So this is a perfect episode for many of you. I hope you enjoy. All right. I would like to welcome Tobiaz to my podcast. This is the first time I've ever had Tobiaz as a guest on my podcast. So welcome, kind sir.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to have you here. We've been trying to put this together for a while, and I'm glad we're finally sitting down to do it. We've talked a good bit in the past, but I think I'm excited about today because today we're going to talk about kind of how you got started in the business a little more, and we're going to talk about what makes an insurance agency successful, what the challenges are, lessons learned along the way. So I think the conversation that we can have based on your experience and my experience can be valuable to people watching. So let's do this. I would like to start by you telling me kind of your story, how you got into this business, and kind of take me from when you started a little bit up to now.
Sounds good. Well, since 2006, I've been in the insurance business. This was back in Sweden, though. So, slightly different than here. And I was a producer for a big company. And when I came to the US in 2006, I was looking at job options. Where can I make a living and where would I feel comfortable? And I, of course, naturally thought about the insurance space. So I started looking around and, not, being new to the country and everything, the culture and everything, it was kind of a challenge. And I ended up with a State Farm agency as a producer in Colorado, Denver, Colorado. And it was not a high paying job, making $14 per hour at the time and some commission. But I really enjoyed it. And I learned a lot about how, we do business here in America. The insurance business is very different from back in Sweden, for example. And I continue with State Farm for a year and a half. And then I tried to get into becoming an independent broker or do my own business. But through the big mortgage company at the time, Countrywide Mortgage, and they started a new concept where they wanted to have insurance agents in each one of their mortgagees' offices to, really go after their clients. Smart move. But everybody, I think, knows what happens to Countrywide. They were acquired by Bank of America. They were basically going bankrupt. And I disappeared from the insurance business for some time because we were all laid off. And I started working for a software company. But I really missed the insurance space and had moved over to Atlanta for a job in the software business. And at the same time, I met my wife, who is an accountant, and she was working a lot with small business owners. And that's how I came into the insurance again, because I thought maybe I can piggyback on some of her clients and see if, because everybody needs insurance, and we had a lot of clients that asked for insurance. So that's how I got back into it. And that's where I created what we have today. Basically started from scratch and didn't know much about the commercial space, to be completely honest. But thanks to a lot of good friends and brokers that really helped me out a lot, I've learned, through this journey. And this was back in 2013 when I started the insurance business. So after that, we have grown a lot significantly, and today we have roughly $10 million in revenue in insurance premium. So we're doing pretty good.
How many locations?
3 locations, and looking at opening up a 4th one.
How many team members do you have right now?
So we have 24 team members. I also have a support office that does marketing and stuff like that in Mexico. And they're bilingual. So they put together a lot of marketing material, send out letters, and call to schedule meetings for my insurance salespeople here in the US. So it's a pretty good concept there, like demand management function.
Yeah. Are those like full team members of your company? Is that a contract deal? Is that a marketing agency in Mexico, or how does that work?
It's a company of mine, but it's completely independent from the insurance business. All they do is marketing.
That's fun. Do they do marketing for other businesses besides yours?
No, exclusively for mine.
Okay,
It's
okay.
my own company, exclusively for my insurance business. Yeah.
Okay. So people watching this podcast can't reach out to you and say, hey, I want to hire your Mexico-based company for marketing, right? Because they're full-time just doing your work.
Just doing my work. I've been thinking about doing something more about it, but I haven't gone into it yet.
Right. Understood. So that's a lot to unpack. So 20 years ago this year, you came to the U.S., right? Happy 20-year anniversary, by the way.
Yeah,
And
June 29th.
You'd already okay. So already been in the insurance business there in Sweden, came here, went to work with State Farm, did that for a while, and then went to work for a while at a software company. What did you do there?
I was selling software or phone sales for a company called Ariba that was later acquired by SAP. So, and I was I was a global director for SAP's inside sales team. So I built a team in Latin America, I built a team in Asia and in Europe. So I did all that stuff, but I was based in the US. And actually in parallel for some years, I was ramping up the insurance business as well.
Okay. So after State Farm, went to the software company, then after the software company in 2013, started the agency that you have now, correct?
Yes.
So in about 13 years, you've had this agency about 13 years, and you started it from scratch. Is that right?
100% from scratch, yes.
Okay. Have you ever acquired a book of business, by the way?
Well, I did in 2019. I acquired a business in Smyrna in the outskirts of Atlanta.
Do you recommend acquisition? Did that go well? Looking back, are you glad you did it? Would you recommend that as a good move for other agency owners?
I guess it depends. For me, that acquisition for me was extremely successful, but there was some very sad and unfortunate circumstances to it. It was an agent that was ill. He was hospitalized, and he urgently wanted to sell his business. And actually, his daughters had a durable power of attorney, and they had to act quickly because otherwise it was going to be a lot of legal issues. And I acquired it. I got it for, I think, a good price. But at the same time, I took over something that was, had the same owner for 27 years. And all of a sudden, they have a new owner and everything is, going to be different. So a lot of clients left because we didn't have time to do that transition, where usually the previous agent is introducing the new agent, and you're going to be in safe hands with Mr. Tobias here, and he's going to take over your accounts. And I think in a way like that, you could probably save more clients. But when these changes happen, some clients, they just leave because they were not really doing business with the agency, they were doing business with the owner. And I think he was more the agency than the actual agency name. But for me, everything turned out to be a good deal, and I'm very happy. And I managed to keep the employees; they wanted to stay with me, and we have grown that business as well a lot since I bought it. So it was a really good acquisition for me. But I can also see how it could have been bad. It could have gone south maybe. But yeah, it turned out to be very good for me. Yes.
Okay. And, certainly always a risk to that kind of thing. I had done several acquisitions many years ago as I was in the agency business. And knock on wood, luckily all of mine, I did about 6 or 7, they were all successful. Some better than others, but there's always a risk. I think you have to buy it at a fair price. I don't mean get a crazy deal or get an unfair deal. I want the seller to do well as well. But you've got to get the right price. Then you've got to get the right structure to how you're buying it. The more cash you pay up front, you have to get a better deal there, because if you can do that acquisition over the course of 2, 3, 4, or 5 years, and there can be some structure to that if things don't continue to go well, you're not taking all the hit, then I think you're better off. The other thing is, I think you learn an important lesson too when you acquire another agency, because one of the things you said was that owner, the previous owner, was very involved. He sounds like the face of the agency, and he was very instrumental in that agency's success, correct?
Yep.
So what I think that tells us in building our business is we have to protect against that, because if I come to buy your business and Tobias is the face of everything, and not only the face of everything, if he's the brains behind everything and he goes away, then what I'm buying is not nearly as valuable. But if you can build your business, if I can build my business in a way that the business is a little more independent of us, we're truly just in a high-level leadership role, and we're not pushing too many buttons or pulling too many levers every day, then I think our business becomes more valuable. There was a good book I read years ago called Built to Sell, and it's all about how to build your business so it's the most valuable it can be. It doesn't mean we want to sell right now, but to build our business now so it is sellable makes it a better business inherently. And who knows, like with the guy that you had the experience with, he probably didn't plan to have this health problems. And so we all need to be protected. So I think there's lessons to be learned there from as well. What I'd like to know now, I think, Tobias, is almost tell me like I was a potential customer, or like you're doing a commercial for your agency. Tell me about your agency, why you think it's successful, why should people come and buy insurance from you? Why do people buy insurance from you? And why do they stay with you? Do a 30-second or a 60-second kind of commercial about your agency, what you're proud of there.
Put me on the spot already, but America's Insurance, that's the name of my agency, or that's the brand of all 3 agencies. We always put the client first. And I truly mean that in the sense that we don't just want to sell the client the policy. We also want to make sure that they really understand what they're buying, and that we really take good care of the customer when it comes to service, because we work with, I would say 98% of our customers is commercial insurance. So they need a lot of certificates. They need a lot of support with endorsements, and the insurance business, even if you were born and raised there, even if you're a lawyer or a very smart business person, the business industry is very unique, and you need somebody who really have a lot of expertise. My team, the big majority of my team, have been with me for 12 years, pretty much since I started. So I also think that that says something about me as a business owner, that people want to stay with me, want to work with me. And that also means that they have a lot of experience, and we are really taking good care of our customers. And we have a very, very high retention. I think we had 88.6% in renewals last year. So we are doing really good with our customers, and we have a great number of customers that would be able to testify to all this stuff, to really speak for us, and that's also what I do sometimes. I connect some of our existing customers with new prospects, depending on how the conversations are going. But for example, I have some big restaurant owners. They have several restaurants, and sometimes when we have a new prospect that also have a good amount of restaurants, we put them together so they can, have a conversation about how we work and how we do things, and that has been very successful to us. So I really believe in putting our client first, but not only to say that because I know everybody says that, but I really mean that. And we have a lot of focus on taking good care of their policies, provide the best service, do the certificates in a timely manner because that's very important to them. And also, like I said, use existing clients as our reference, as a reference for the kind of work that we do and that we have done. That might have been more than 30 seconds, but
it's perfect. No, I think it's perfect. So you're leveraging your current relationships a good bit to help you sell new customers. Is that sort of what you're saying as a testimonial,
yes.
as a reference? Okay. And do you ever capture those kind of case studies or testimonials or references for marketing, like with videos? That'd be a cool thing to do, wouldn't it?
Very good point. There's so many things that I would like to do that I've been thinking about doing, but I've never gotten to it, unfortunately. But that's one of them. Yeah, I have some of their testimonials on the website, but that's, I would love to have videos or can something similar to this, right? Like maybe a little bit of an interview and of course shorter and more summarized, and be able to post it on the website, for example. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I agree with you. Man, I'm telling you, when you are a business owner, when you are an entrepreneur, the ideas are plentiful and the hours in the day are not. Don't you agree? You've got more ideas than we've got time to execute. So it's easy for everybody else to say, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do this? And you're like, I know, I want to do all those things. I can't get it all done.
Yeah.
And at some point your brain kind of melts trying to think of everything. Tell me a little bit about when you started using Jenesis, and this is not intended to be a Jenesis commercial. It's intended for me. I'm just curious, when did you start? And I'd like the listeners to know, when did you start using Jenesis? Jenesis has several different products and services. So tell us when you started, what you're using at Jenesis, and kind of how that's gone.
Yes. This is one of the mistakes that I did as an agency owner, and not to use Jenesis. That kind of came out wrong. The other way around. my mistake was that we never, from the beginning, and I had several people that recommended me and told me, you need to get a good agency system from the beginning. And I was like, yeah, sure. Because I wasn't even sure that we were going to have 10 million worth of premium 13, 14 years later. So we started using Excel spreadsheets, and then I've been a big user of Salesforce. So I had Salesforce. I modified Salesforce into something as close as possible to an insurance agency management system. But at the end of the day, we realized, we have to do something different. And just like we talked about before, you have all these ideas, you have people recommending you to do things, and I'm like, yeah, I should do this, I should do that. But at the end of the day, you only have so much time. But I started thinking we have to do something about the agency. We have so much information and we are missing out on events. Still, we were doing a very good job. Like I said, we have a very high renewal rate and customers are very happy with us. We get a lot of referrals, organic growth in that sense. So we didn't struggle from a business perspective. It was just to kind of really make the business more and better organized. So we started looking around at systems and we were looking at Applied and some of the big names. And what I saw that they could do sounded really cool and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, the money that you have to spend, it's a lot of money. And we are financially, thank goodness, doing very well. But these companies are charging so much money, and it's not really, at the end of the day, you're not going to get everything that you want and that you need anyway. And we started looking around a little bit more, and we came in touch with Jenesis, and we realized, wow, you can get a system here for an affordable amount of money. I think a decent price, and we like the presentations, and we like that it's a smaller company. We have this personal touch, like you and I are sitting here talking today, and we have talked sometimes via text message and on the phone. That's the kind of contact that I like, and I also think that my clients like from us, that they have that touch, the person touch. So looking at Jenesis from the beginning, we saw a lot of potential, and we know that you guys told us that, look, if it's not there, we can probably make it happen. We are flexible, we're willing to look at your situation and your needs, and we can kind of tailor and customize some of the stuff in the system so it helps you. We have done it with other customers, and I take people's word sometimes, and we trusted you, and you guys delivered, because I know that for you guys as a company and you as an owner, it's not easy to just start customizing and personalizing a system. You can't do that for every single client, of course. It has to be within a certain framework, right? And everything that we have been asking Jenesis for, you have made it happen. And sometimes it has taken some time because I understand, it hasn't been easy on your end either. And we are not always, easy to work with either. It's always something, right, that you have to figure out. But I think the collaboration that we have felt, and the flexibility, and to always have somebody to talk to, reach out to, that always will get back to us with an answer, whether we like it or not, has always been great. And I really think that for us, Jenesis has made a big difference. And there's still some things that, now we have QuickBooks Online. We want to integrate that with Jenesis. I know that you guys are working on that too, and you're getting there. So there's a lot of things that I see that, we can continue to grow with Jenesis. And I really like that idea. We have had a great experience.
Okay. Well, thank you for all that. And everything you just said is mutual on our side too, because we really, really enjoy, and I think our whole team enjoys collaboration. We do not see ourselves as a company that our mission is to build this product and sell billions of dollars worth of product. Our mission is more about developing meaningful relationships, and to be able to get to know somebody is so much fun. I do not know nearly all of the customers that we have. We have a few thousand. I wish I did, and I kind of miss sometimes the days when we had 100 customers or 200, and I knew them all. But see, I appreciate everything you say. You said. Do you remember how long have you had Jenesis now? About, is it a couple of years or more or less?
May 28, 2024, to be precise. That's when we moved everything over.
Okay. So almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Do you remember, because you've got a lot of team members, did everyone go through our training, or did a few people go through our training and those people train the other people? How did training go? Because training and learning a system is a pretty big deal.
That is a big deal. It's a scary deal, and a lot of people are very scared of learning new things. And I've seen this many times, especially when I worked, at SAP. Change management is extremely important, and what you don't know usually scares you, most people. And nothing different. Yeah, nothing different from us. We have a lot of people that I would say they didn't like to change to a new system because they knew and they mastered Salesforce and the way I had set it up. But we had a great training. Now I can't remember the name of the people from Genesis, other than your wife Lisa. There were some other folks that were in there. Brian, I think, Derek, trying to remember some. But we did the whole team at first. Everybody participated in the training, actually per agency. I think we broke it up per agency. And then we have some guys that I kind of created what I call the Tiger team, a couple of guys from each agency to make sure that those would be like our go-to people. And they had to learn the system even better than everybody else. For example, the manager and a couple of other folks that are a little bit stronger when it comes to systems and that part of the business. And then I also have my head of operations, who I know Edinson, who has been a great, kind of coordinator on top of everything. And he has been a tremendous help. But yeah, we kind of did it that way. We had everybody participate at first, and then we had a couple of people from each office together with Edinson that kind of deep dove into, to learn the system even better and to kind of be the go-to people and that have been, further educated people on the team.
How do you have a plan for continuing the learning? Because with software like the Jenesis Now agency management system, updates are pushed out monthly. There's anywhere from 20 to 40 new enhancements every month. Is there anything in place, or is that another one of the things on our big list of, I need to do something different there, but haven't yet? How about that?
Yeah, it's pretty much that standard answer applies to a certain extent there. Yeah, we want to do a lot of stuff. Do we do everything? No. But there is definitely things that we still can learn to do different from Genesis. And I know you guys have a lot of data, a lot of reports. We are using a lot of reports. I think we are doing probably, I mean, I don't know what all the other agencies do, of course, but I would just think that we do a lot more than a lot of other agencies. We have a thanks to Edinson again, who is, really customizing, building a lot of the reports, doing a lot of that stuff. But we also want to do more when it comes to Ivans. When we can connect to QuickBooks Online, that's going to be a tremendous help for us. It's going to make a big, big difference. And we're also looking into some of the other things that Genesis is doing when it comes to creation of website. That's something that I actually want to talk to you about, at a different time. And to have the AE assistance when it comes to the website. People go on the website and they can start communicating with a voice, or maybe not the voice, kind of like a bot, right? And both in Spanish and English,
voice or text.
So that would be great.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're doing some cool stuff with all of that. So those are the
things.
And we get excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The learning piece, I'll go back to that real quick and then we'll move on, is every week we have a Q&A, Jenesis Now Q&A session. It's the same time, same day every week. I don't know when that is, but our implementation team manages that. And they'll have 5, 10, or 15 customers show up. So it's a small enough number to any one person doesn't get lost. You can come and ask questions, or you can just come and see what other people's questions are. And a lot of times we learn from that. So I don't know if your guys or your folks, anybody's attending those weekly Q&As, but I would recommend you try to get someone to attend some of those and see what they think. We're hearing great. We've been doing it for about a year. We're hearing great feedback. Do you know if anyone's ever attended them?
I know Edinson has attended some of those, and I think he does that on a somewhat weekly, monthly basis.
Perfect.
Yeah, but I need to look. I need to check back with him. But I know that he did that frequently in the beginning.
Okay, good. I think that's a good move. People are saying good things about that. Well, thank you for all the stuff you just said. Appreciate all that. We like you care for your customers and want to truly provide an experience that's meaningful to them. We feel exactly the same way. So we'll start kind of winding down, but I do want to talk about a couple things. Like you've already said, your retention is pretty much, we'll call it 90% retention. You've said that your premium is at 10 million now. Is it easy to talk about? I think success is hard to talk about because there's no one thing that makes anyone successful. It's 100 things probably that make you successful. Marketing is only one of them, and sales skills, that's only one piece of it. It's so many things. But if you were trying to think, Tobias, if somebody's watching this podcast you and I are doing, and let's say it's they're where you were 13 years ago, starting an agency with zero, no people, no premium, no customers. They're starting it from zero. If they could look forward, I believe, I'm 100% sure if they could look forward and think, wow, in 13 years, are you telling me I could have, 20 plus employees, be at 10 million in premium in 13 years? That would be exciting for most people because a lot of agencies have been in business a lot longer than 10 years, Tobias, 13 years, and not anywhere where you are. So if you're giving that person advice, what would you say to the person that's just starting and they want to be where you are in 13 years? What's a few nuggets that you could give them to help them get where you are?
I think I will go back to what I mentioned before about some of my employees that have been with me basically since I started the agency. Not everybody, of course, because most of them started the year after. So I think hiring the right people that are at the right stage of their life, which I think I was kind of lucky about when I started. I didn't think about all those things, but when I've continued to hire people, I'm always looking at people that are from the business world. Not always do they have insurance experience, because I rather train people to become successful insurance producers than just hiring somebody, because we have tried that and people come in and, yeah, I know that. Oh, that's not how we did at our agency. Oh, can you do that?
Yeah.
We never did that like that before. I'm like, okay, all right, great. So I think getting the right employees in place is obviously very important. I think you have to have some kind of financial backup, because the first 3 years financially are and can be brutal, right? You have to have, I think, some financial backup. You have to have some money to become successful, to be able to hire good people, and I think preferably full-time people, train them and make them successful at the same time as you're ramping up your own business. And I don't think that's easy, because I know many agents end up being only the agent, or maybe they get one person because they want to get the revenue, they want to make the money. But I think if you want to look further into the future and to really get the growth, I think you have to be able to hire maybe more people than you can afford, at least than the business can afford. But at the same time, you continue the growth because you get the right people. So you will see the success a little bit further down the road, even further down than maybe 3 years, 2 or 3 years, because you have the right people and you have enough people to manage all the renewals, to manage the growth, taking good care of the customers, making sure that they are happy and that they can give you referrals and you can continue their growth, because we get so many referrals from our customers. It's almost crazy. And I think that, again, goes back to having the right people on your team, having the right number of people that can really take care of the business, and doing a really good job, obviously, for the customers, and asking for the referrals, asking for the business, and always be in contact with the customers. Those are the main things that I can think of that have made us successful. And of course, you have to be prepared. I know a lot of people these days, and I see that too when I hire people, because not everybody that I have hired have been perfect either. And sometimes you get somebody and the mentality is different today, I think. I don't know if it's generational or if it's just the culture in society has changed a little bit, that some people are not willing to put in those extra hours to become successful, and they think that it's easy and I should do like this and AI and I invest in the stock market, I can make all this money and buy some bitcoins, but it takes a lot of work. And a lot of
Yeah.
people think, yeah, I clock in at 9 and I clock out at 5 and that's it. I mean, I still today I work a lot of hours. I mean, I don't know. I work all the time basically. I enjoy it. I love working. I like it. But not everybody might be willing to put up with that. So it's when you think about life work balance, that's not I'm not that kind of guy that you can't sell that argument to me. I'm like, hey, if you want to get things done, you have to work for it.
Yeah. Well, I think on that note specifically, and I'm probably right there with you. I love work. I mean, technically, I'm working right now, and technically, you're working right now. I hope you're enjoying this.
Yeah.
I sure am.
Yeah, I
But
do.
I enjoy it when I enjoy looking at our financials. I enjoy talking to one of our team members about them providing support to our customers. I enjoy it's almost a problem. I enjoy every aspect of my business, of my company. So when I'm working, it makes me happy. I think so many people are in this unfortunate situation, Tobias, where work is an obligation and it's miserable and they are forced to do it or they can't put bread on their table, is how they feel. And then I'm in this camp over here, and I believe you are, where we are put here on this earth probably for a reason. And when we figure out what we enjoy, that's probably what we are good at, and vice versa. What we're good at, we probably enjoy. And if you can enjoy what you're doing every day, I don't know. I think we can call it work or we cannot call it work. But I think the word work for so many people equals unhappiness and misery and force and obligation. And for people like you and I, we are more successful at what we do probably because it's fun. It's enjoyable. And when you hit a roadblock, it's a challenge. It's not devastating. It's a challenge to solve the problem to get around the roadblock. But let me go back real quick. So I heard three major things and I love them. And I like to keep things simple. So the three secrets to success from Tobias would be number one, hire right. And that means a few different things. It means don't look for an insurance experience necessarily. Hire the right person, their brain and their heart, and then teach them how to do insurance. Because most anyone can learn insurance. It's hard for you and I to teach someone work ethic and attitude and relationship and communication and some of those things. So hire right and train well. I'll put that in the same category you said. The second thing you said was in starting an agency, you need a little bit of a financial runway because you're not going to start making money month one, maybe not year one. So you need a little bit of a financial runway in some way that you've got enough resources to build this out during those lean months. That was number two that I wrote down. And then the third thing I wrote down, and you said a lot of great things, so somebody else may come away with 6 or 8 or 10 things that you just said. But the third major category that I heard was treat your customers well and ask for the business and ask for referrals. You said referrals come into your agency in crazy volume. And I'm guessing many insurance agencies do not ask for a referral. They're embarrassed or they're shy or they don't want to seem too pushy or too salesy. But you're saying ask for the business from the person you're quoting and ask for the referrals from your existing customers. So that's the three, I'm sure there's many. That's three keys to success, to getting to $10 million in 13 years.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
I like it. Is there anything that we've not talked about? And it's funny because my notes that I've got here, I've got more notes, but I think we're out of time. So we'll do this again one day if that's all right.
Yeah, for sure.
But is there anything that we've not talked about during this podcast time today about insurance agency success that you think we need to mention?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I think the one thing that I think about a lot is AI, how that can, how that will impact, has already impacted and will impact more the business. And sometimes it scares me, and sometimes it motivates me. So that's something, but I don't know if this is the time, if we have enough time to talk about that, because I know that's a huge subject. But that's the only thing that I can think of that, is really out there today when it comes to insurance and any business, pretty much. AI is huge.
Yeah, I think it is huge. And I think it is a topic for another day because that's a whole podcast episode on its own. I think the quick couple comments I'll make is I don't think AI is going to take away everything we've built, and it's not going to take away our jobs. I do think that AI will replace people who don't know how to use AI. I think it's already happened, and I think it'll escalate quickly over the next 12 and 24 months. So I think people who don't embrace AI, for whatever reason they're not embracing it, whether it's fear or anything else, I think that will affect them in their career over the next 12 or 24 months, probably regardless of what their career is, but especially insurance. But I think it's far-reaching anyway. I know we've got campaigns going on internally at Jenesis for the last 6 months to propel us forward internally and in what we're building for customers related to AI. So we're embracing it. I don't think most of us, and I think it's okay that we don't have everything figured out about AI because I don't think it's possible to. I think it's happening too fast to necessarily ever feel like you're on the cutting edge of it. But I think people should not ignore it. So I think it's a force to be reckoned with. But I don't think it's going to ruin people who are aware. And I don't think it's any different than the Industrial Revolution when people thought, oh my heavens, they're building machines to pick the cotton or whatever it is. And now that work in the factories, people had to learn how to use those machines. And it did replace people picking the cotton maybe and doing certain things in factories. But those people, their challenge was, now I've just got to figure out how to use the new equipment that's being built for me. So it's an exciting time. I mean, anytime there's something this powerful, this is the first big wave of change to this extent that we've had in a long time. And maybe the internet itself was the last big one.
Yeah,
who knows what it'll be
I
in
agree.
10 or 20 years from now. All right. If folks, Tobias, would like to reach out to you and ask you, maybe you've said something today they'd like your thoughts on, would that be okay? Could they reach out to you?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's not a problem. My email would be the best way.
Yeah. And what is that email?
That would be Tobiaz, T for Tango, O, B for boy, I, A, Z, at A for Alpha, M for Mary, E for Edward, R for Robert, insure, as if you insure your workers' compensation, .net.
You've done that a few times, haven't you?
You know, when you have an accent, you have to be very clear.
Well, you could say that about me too, because for you, I've got an accent. So, all right. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for taking this time to do this with me. I know you're important. We appreciate you as a customer, and I appreciate you sharing so transparently with other agencies who can learn from where you've been. And I'm sure you've learned from others where they've been. We acknowledge you as being an exceptional customer, somebody we really enjoy working with. You have proven yourself to be a good man, and we enjoy partnering alongside people like you in this industry. So Thank you very much. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Thanks for listening to the Insurance Agency Success Podcast, where independent insurance agencies like you get the tools and insights to grow, streamline, and enjoy your business. And if you're ready to simplify and scale, visit genesissoftware.com, Genesis with a J, and click on the orange button to request a demo. I appreciate you being here. Keep growing, keep building, and I'll see you next time.